Some good water. What do you think, gents?
Yeah, what happened to vitamin water?
Mm-hmm.
What happened to vitamin water?
Vitamin water is awesome. So is smart water.
Oh, okay.
You know, Glacier
just
do an amazing job at making drinks.
Yo, I think Glacier.
I would not be mad if I woke up to an email talking about doing work together in any way, shape, or form.
Totally.
That would be pretty cool. But whatever, let a man dream, huh?
Oh, we're filming?
Oh. I feel good. Bro, I miss this room so much. All right, ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Welcome back to another episode of Group Chat, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Leonardo. Got spit in the corner of my mouth. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Welcome back to another episode of...
That sounded refreshing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, only smart water can make me refreshed.
You know,
like
these
that.
electrodes that they use is an interesting way to...
It's
it's
so,
vapor distilled, right?
You
Absolutely.
guys,
That was
and that's
like
my
a big
personal
selling point for me.
it's
was the vapor distilled.
definitely because it's 591 milliliters in a bottle, and I mean, if I gave you the task to say, here's a bottle, put 591 milliliters in that.
I don't know how I do it, dude. They pulled it
They
off,
did it though. They did it though.
Smart water does. Welcome to Group Chat.
Our email's down below. So, welcome
to
back
Group
to another
Chat.
episode of Group Chat, ladies and gentlemen, and your representatives of Nike. I am your host, Leonardo the Light Skin, along with my brother Trey Deuce. We got my man Nate back in the house.
Hello.
How you been, man?
Yeah, good. Well, I've been better now that I had to speak of this glacier water, but smart water.
Sweet.
Yes, sir. Yeah. But no, I've been good, man. Been busy, obviously, but as per usual. But all good. Absolutely.
Hey,
I used to lose my mind when I wasn't busy enough.
No.
Yeah, I wanna welcome you back to the show. As also, you're my friend. I see you all the time. But welcome back to the show. My I don't see you. And just the other day, we shot an episode with these two creators. They go by the name of Watcha on YouTube. One's name is Shadora and one's name is, what's it, Pitney? Janie, there we go. And Shadora came on the show and she was talking about a quote that you said. I would say it, but I do not remember it. But basically you're saying, if you see something, just go and do it quickly, but do it like...
Oh, yeah, because there's so-and-so, a million something people in the world. And then if you have an idea, then the likeliness of you being the only one with that idea is like not, it's probably not the case. So go ahead, once you have an idea, go ahead and just attack it and do it. And then she did that. What you talking about, YouTube?
Yeah, so I believe she was talking about YouTube. She was talking about the 4-Y'all parody. And then she took
what you
said.
Yeah, that's what it was. There you go.
She took what you said and she's like, yo, she was hesitant about doing the 4-Y'all parody. Sorry, she did a vlog parody on us.
Right.
And she was hesitant about doing it. Then she just like thought about what you said and just said, yo, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. And then we found a video, we liked it, we watched it, we reached out to her, we got her on the show, and she was saying like, yo, like, thanks to Nate, because she listened to what you said. And for everyone else out there that listens to us and listens to our guests that come on the show, thank you, man. That's what the show's about. We want to help you guys, and we want you guys to help us. And it looks like that's going to be the case today because we got an interesting topic on our hands.
Yes, we do.
Yes,
Nike or smart? I'm joking. Let's get into it, boys. A topic came up that was really interesting, and it's hard to explain, so let me just try and bear with me, all right? You got a girl, and she meets 99 checkpoints, and everything's peachy. But then there's that one checkpoint that just does not resonate with you well, right? And let's say the checkpoint is big. That last checkpoint that she's missing is big. So you guys done things together. You guys like the same things. You guys eat the same things. But then that one checkpoint is something like, yo, she doesn't support what you want to do, or she doesn't believe in what you want to do. Is that checkpoint big enough for you to leave, or is that you being what's the word?
Selfish.
Is that you being selfish? There we go.
Yeah.
Why you gotta put me on the spot? That's a big question.
I think it's definitely a hard one because when you meet a girl, it's like everyone knows that there's no perfect girl out there. I mean, I think we talked about it a little bit. I think there's a perfect girl out there for you, but
think
it's
there is?
still yeah.
Okay.
I think it's just so hard to find someone that clicks with everything that you want to do, because me, I'm a very complicated guy. So if I find a girl that likes Nike and smart water, and okay, let me stop. If I find a girl that likes 50 things that I like, but then there's that one thing that she's just not rocking with, is like, I feel that is a little bit selfish for me to say, all right, I'm going to go do my thing then because you don't like this one thing, but you like 50 other things. Because if you break it down to percentages, that's a better percentage. That's
Nah, but it
50
depends
compared
on
to
like, how much weight that last little checkbox holds.
Yeah. So you
Like,
think
if
that
it's,
one?
If it's something as small as she, I don't know, she laughs weird.
Right, yeah.
Then
That's
like,
a big one, bro.
That's kind of big.
That's a big one. For
Nah,
you.
if she laughs weird, all right, you could let that slide. You could work with it. But if it's something that's like something that holds as much weight as, I don't know, she doesn't support the career path you want to take, then that's, I don't know if that's even selfish. I think that's because you want to look out for yourself and make sure that you're happy in the future. Because what if, okay, this girl doesn't support this career path, she does not want me involved in it, and then okay, fine, I'll listen to you, and then like I don't do what I truly want to do, and then like maybe what, like 3 years down the line you guys split up, and it's like, oh shit,
I should have been selfish. And there's a lot of times.
I don't think it's selfish.
There's a lot of times.
I
I think it is selfish though. But like, I think it is
Why?
selfish. But there's a lot of times where people will tell you, like older people told me, you have to be selfish at times, and you have to pick and choose when's the right time to be selfish.
Okay,
and
so is she selfish for saying no? I don't want you to do that because I don't like it.
I think she's more selfish. Yeah.
So both of you are selfish?
Yo, leave me alone. You're selfish. What do you think?
Yeah, no.
I see you like getting ready to speak like 7 times.
Listening to you. It's like, okay. First of all, pardon my voice. I lost it yesterday, sort of. Anyway, no, I mean, I think what's interesting about this, I've been in the same type of situation. Depending on what it is, it could be considered selfish. But at the same point in time, if you really look back at it from a higher level, it's all about compatibility, really. I mean, we're selfish in a whole bunch of things. Really, everything that we do, if you really break it quite down, I might get a bit too, philosophical here, but just listen to me for a second. Let's say you're building a house, somewhere where there's disaster relief, or you're donating something. I mean, you're doing it because you want to get that emotional return back. You want to get that feel-good thing back. If you didn't feel good about it, if it didn't give you an emotional return, you probably wouldn't do it. So, I mean, it's an interesting perspective where almost everything that we do is inherently selfish because we want to feel good. Human nature is to, be happy, is to do things that makes you, enjoy life and everything else. So, to say that one person is selfish and the other person is selfish, I think that it's sort of naturally going to be the case. You wouldn't want to be with somebody who's always on your, getting upset with you for something and vice versa. Yeah. But if you have that compatibility, that's where it works out. Now, going back to what you were saying, like, what happens if... Hey, listen.
I'll put this in my notes.
Oh.
I'm not writing you a ticket.
I got a lot of tickets.
You fight the ticket.
I got a lot of tickets.
No, I was putting it in my notepad.
Okay. Yo, because if you think about it, going back to that checklist thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, she laughs weird, but is that really gonna make you? Is that gonna really like take happiness away from you? Probably not. Might annoy you a little bit, but I mean that's not a big deal, right? But if it's something a bit more substantial, something that really defines who you are, that's where you're gonna get a lot of conflict. And what gets harder is if you've been with this person for so many years and you've experienced things like, let's say, you're high school sweethearts, you met in college, university, and you graduate together. You went on your first international trip together. You met the family, she's met your family, and everything clicks along great. You're looking at it and you're like, man, everything is sort of driving right, but what I want to do personally does not match what she wants me to do or what she envisions this relationship to be like. And when that comes down to play, you're gonna get into a lot of fights if there's not some middle ground, right?
Yeah. I think yeah, you're 100% right. And I don't know. So let's go around the table right now and say, is that a breaking point for you? Like, are you gonna leave or are you gonna continue to try and make it work?
I probably still do my shit, and then it's up to her. Like if.
Do you think like, okay, so when you're in a relationship, you still have to like take a big part of like, okay, what is she saying here out type of thing. So like, do you think you doing your shit is going to like bring up more problems? Like, do you think she's gonna argue with you because like? So don't you think that's gonna stress you out more from you trying to do your shit and take away from you doing your shit now?
I mean, I wouldn't do it like right at the start. I wouldn't say, okay, I'm about to go chase this career path, and then I'm leaving on top of that. Like I probably would still try and like make things work, and then eventually, like whatever further down the line, if it doesn't work out, then it's time to cut.
Yo, from my I just wanted to jump in before I lose my train of thought. My personal experience with that situation, where I sort of just, listen, I'm going to just do me, and then we're going to just try to grow with it and sort of work it out as it happens. There has been, in my case, there was incremental improvements, and I know that there was effort put in. But at the same point in time, what you were sort of mentioning is, if you have to deal with this all the time, think about, like, let's just think about energy too, and the amount of time that you have in a day. I mean, if you have to spend 30 minutes every day taking this person down from how upset he or she is because you're doing your thing, and that 30 minutes is taken away from what you would be doing productively, and then there's always that time of where, like, okay, after the fight, after the whole thing is done, you're just not in the right mood, you're not going to be able to get back in that drive. You could throw away days and days, and then if you compound that for the years that you've been with that person, that's a lot of wasted time, that's a lot of wasted effort, and that's where it gets a bit tricky.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I even brought it up in last week's episode. I said, when you're doing something, whether it's chasing your dream or whatever it is, like, I'm just gonna relate it to videos. That's what I do. If I get into an argument, or I get into an argument with my girlfriend, and she says, yo, just get a real job, and, like, yo, we have you gotta pay bills and whatever. Let's just say that, right? I'm gonna be picking up that camera the next day with the mindset of, like, fucking, you know what I mean? Like, that's how I'm picking up the camera.
In the back of your mind, it definitely stays with you. Because even back when we were just starting out, and my dad's like on us for school and saying, yo, like, you gotta like, soon enough you gotta drop this YouTube thing or do less of it so you can do more school. And then we'd still continue doing the videos, but then when we did it, like, it's in the back of our mind, like, yo, shit, is this really going anywhere? Like, should we really be going to school? Is this really even worth it? And
there was a lot of times where even, like, it's going to play a bigger part when whatever you're doing doesn't work out the first couple months, first couple years or whatever, and then that thought is even
comes even stronger.
It comes even stronger because you're like, all right, shit, it's not really working. Maybe I should have listened to my baby girl. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I should have listened to my dad. But then you should, at the same time, you should be saying, yo, like, I think that's so mean for you to say, because now you're making my job 20 times harder, because whatever it is I'm trying to do is already hard enough. So you should be supporting me. But then that brings us to a previous topic that we had. When is it time to say like, what if we just suck? And what if she doesn't want to tell you that, yo, I don't think you're capable of doing this? But then is she in the right to say that? Now where are we? You see what I'm saying?
Yo,
7 new topics.
Yeah, I mean, it all comes down the way you're talking about it. It's literally all subjective, right? I mean, who's to say what's right? Who's to say what's wrong? And then you sort of look into sort of third party areas, like going back to this relationship topic. You know, as you go older and you sort of look around at your friends and her friends, and then like, oh man, they have like, oh, they're moving in together. Oh, these people are like, these people are having a kid. That's what happened for me for a while. But they're having.
You can't do that, man. I feel like that'll mess you up so much.
It messes you up, man, because now what you're doing is you're comparing yourself and you're trying to benchmark your progress between everybody else. And you're like, oh man, like shoot, this thing is detracting away from this relationship. We're wasting time together. These people seem to be having this great situation. I don't have that. It just really trips you out.
It doing the same shit when everyone's graduating.
That's what I was about to say.
Like now, like 3 years in, people are like finishing their programs. 3-4 years. I see this person graduate. All my friends graduate. I'm like shit. And then I feel like, yo, I'm doing wrong. I'm like I'm way behind. They're way ahead of me. And then like I was so focused on that, and it just really like it consumed me as a whole.
Yeah.
I couldn't focus right.
A couple of things.
So much.
A couple of things. I think with that's more of a personal thing that you have to like treat yourself. More train yourself and train your mind to say, don't pay attention to that, because we could have said it with YouTube. We could have looked at everyone else that has success on YouTube, and just like we joined YouTube thinking, oh, man's about to blow tomorrow if we get on World Star. You got to train yourself to say, this is not gonna happen. And this is my path. Like that's that person's path, and I don't know his. You feel me? So you got to train yourself with that. And with you, I think it's the same thing. It's just like you got to like your girl and you have to look at it like, yo, that's their story. That we don't know what they went through, so we got to do this together. With that, you said like, who's that person to say it? Like whatever, tell you if she's right or wrong. But then if I care about you and I care about Jermaine, I'm gonna give you guys my point and say, yo, like Nate, I don't really think you should be doing so and so, but I could be wrong. You know what I mean? So I feel like she has to think about like I don't know. She kind of has to think about like, yo, I could be wrong. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there shouldn't be no 100% do not do this. And that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, maybe some people just have to like open their minds more, because if my girl came to me like, I want to do this, I'm gonna support her 100%. But she has to know that I'm about to tell her, everything that could go wrong, just so it's in your head and you know that, and you can plan around that and be prepared for that. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna tell her no.
I think it's like, honestly, I think it's the energy, the sort of attitude towards putting sort of that feedback to your other significant other, and also what you guys envision. Like here's one of the critical issues too, right? Let's even take a step back with this career path and stuff, and sort of just say, why do we do these career choices? And sometimes it's because, let's just use entertainment. So sometimes, I just want to make people laugh. Sometimes I want to, maybe others want to just have this recognition. Others want like the big Hollywood A-list dollars. So there's these different underlying objectives as to why you choose what you want to do, right? Now, if you go into this relationship view, which really is about a unit, people come together to complement one another, to build something bigger than what they could independently. If that individual doesn't care for those things, they're not going to see why you're doing it. And they're like,
just never understand it.
Right. And there is true, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's true instances where like everybody says, I want a lot of money. But there are literally people out there that don't care for a lot of money. And if you put somebody who just is so driven and so ambitious and wants to achieve all that they could possibly achieve, and then you put that together with somebody who's like, yo, my vision of a relationship is coming home at 6 o'clock and hanging out and just enjoying time together. Like, as much as you might be compatible on a whole bunch of levels, your vision of what a relationship is, there's one person wants to build this empire and the other one just wants to spend time.
So
it's gonna be very difficult.
That's what sometimes I feel like. Well, I guess it did on actually. I was gonna say that's why a lot of like celebrities date other celebrities, because they have the same vision, they share the same lifestyle, and everything's the same. So it's different from, I don't know, like Big Sean dating a girl who's like just used to, or who just wants to, as you mentioned, just wants a relationship where you come home at 6 o'clock and everything's just whatever, you guys hang out and that's it. You wake up, go to work, and it's normal.
So do you guys think that's a big enough reason to leave, to separate? Because like, what if she wants a 6 o'clock come home to me, and I want this entertainment lifestyle, but like I want her, like I still want her, and I still love her.
People can adapt. That's why I originally said I wouldn't just get up and leave.
Yeah.
And then start like, okay, I'm gonna start. I don't know. I'm gonna start plumbing tomorrow. I'm gonna leave you because you don't want me plumbing. Like I try it first and see if it'll work out. But then eventually,
And there's also attitudes too, like those who need more sort of attention or emotional reciprocation than others. That might be a factor too, right? Because maybe you guys don't have the same goals and ambitions, but hey, you know what? You do you, because I'm really proud that you're doing what you want and you're making yourself happy. I'm pretty cool with just, let's say if they're loving photography, you're gonna do your thing for like 4 or 5 hours, I'm gonna go take some photos. Like totally different reasons why you guys are doing things, totally different big ambitions and little ambition, or not little ambition, but just different ambition. But it's like, hey, if you're confident enough to do things independently and just know that when you come together at the end of the day, you guys are still content with one another, that's fine. But when you get all these differences of like values and these core difference of needs, I find that a lot of people with high ambition don't need a lot of emotional return, because they're almost self-fulfilling that need by just achieving their goals and working. They're just busy with their mind. Those who don't have a lot going on, right? Like,
bro, I have a lot of friends and their parents. Like, I have a lot of friends whose parents split up for that reason.
Yeah.
It would be like the dad's like super into the family business that he started.
Yeah.
And he's always he's a workaholic. He's always at work. He doesn't need to be at work because he has a lot of employees who can take care of everything just as good as he can. But he wants to be at work and whatever, but then the mom's at home feeling like, oh, I'm always home with the kids. I don't see your dad enough. We don't do things like we used to. We barely talk. He comes home, he falls asleep, he gets up and goes to work. He's perfectly fine. You can talk to him. He's like, oh yeah, I'm good.
He's like, this is great.
I'll make
everybody's
happy.
happy.
My family, whatever. But if you ask mom how things are going, it's all
totally different business.
Yeah, it's going downhill. It's going shit.
I think you made a great point. I don't really have a point to like come back with it. And I think at the end of the day, it's all on you and how you feel, because oh no, you motherfuckers, I got something for you. So what if your girl, let's say you want to do something in the entertainment industry, and you like your girl doesn't want you in it for the wrong reasons. So she doesn't want you in it, but she'll make it seem like, oh, I don't want you in it because you can't make it and you're not good enough and blah, 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 when really she's just afraid of you making it, because she knows if you do get on, this is going to come with it, traveling's going to come with it, money's going to come with it, attention's going to come with it, girls going to come with it, and all these things that she's going to feel like, okay, now I'm in competition with his money, I'm in competition with him flying out, with the girls and whatnot. Because they're gonna think like right now. Think about it. They're gonna think about it like right now. This is me and you. You know what I mean? Right now it's just me and my girlfriend. Right, but then when I get all this now, it's like okay, now Trevon's attention is on different places and things,
and now competing with him. Like
no, she's in competition, saying like, yo, now I have to deal with all the other girls. I have to deal with him traveling. I have to deal with this bigger trust issues because now he's sleeping over here. And
you feel me? Does she say that or?
Yeah, let's say it comes out in a fight one day, and it sllips, like because she's just so mad and she says it one time, and she's like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Like she has like reasonable ground to feel that way because it's something so brand new to it'd be something so new to her.
Yeah,
it's really different. It's not traditional.
I think, and that's where this is where an interesting perspective is. It's where it's okay. Obviously, if they're doing that, there's insecurities. Yeah. Call it what you want. It's
is it insecurities?
It's insecurity. Yeah. It's insecurity because if you have confidence in your relationship where it's like, oh, okay, this person is going to be exposed to traveling and new people and money and everything else, you should have the confidence saying, listen, this person is so completely satisfied with me that I shouldn't have an issue. Yeah,
I don't think that's insecurities though because like
yourself in a relationship.
It's like oh my bad, but I just feel so strong about this point because if I'm so good with my girlfriend here, I know I'm good with my girlfriend here because we live in Calgary and there's like 10,000 people here. But now if my girlfriend's traveling the world, I'm like, fam, I have to deal with the world now. How that's just me increasing my possibilities of like, okay, this now there's this that can happen, this that can happen.
But
this
that's the way you put it though.
But I mean,
you could ask someone else. You could ask your neighbor, and then they could have a totally different mindset. Like, oh, I know my relationship is fine. I know like nothing's gonna break it. I know that, or even if
maybe I'm insecure then, fams.
What?
Fuck.
Well,
I hate this show. Yo, what? Whatever. Continue then, man.
Just bring out the worst traits in you.
It is sort of insecurity though, in a way, because like you should be able to say like no matter who is coming around, I have been able to treat my partner so well that they don't really have an interest to look at somebody else or talk to somebody else, or that just you guys have built such a positive environment. What was it?
My bad.
Yo, at the end of the day, yo.
Yeah, no,
okay,
it's all
go,
good.
Go. I remember saying at the end of the day, yo, I can have a girlfriend, but I will, like, a certain girl walk by me and be like, yo, that girl is beautiful, and I'm looking at that girl.
It's natural.
It's natural. A girl will do the same thing if a good-looking guy walks by.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with it.
And
but that's what
I'm. If he has cornrows.
If he has cornrows and the do-rag and the cornrows is leaking out,
and he got the bees in too.
That's what I'm saying. It increases the possibilities of like, okay, there is a good-looking guy that may walk by my girl, but that doesn't make me insecure. I'm just knowing like I'm knowledgeable enough to know that there's someone maybe like when she flies to Texas for work. There may be a Jamar there with a nice braids.
But hold on.
Like insecurity.
But an interesting, but an interesting perspective that you bring up is okay. I have to quote unquote compete with the world now. But let's actually look at your hometown. Okay. There's 10,000 people who live in Alberta or Calgary, whatever you said. There's not 10,000 people there, but you know what I mean. Yeah. But the problem is, you know them, so they know your routines. Your freaking girl who walks by that nice guy at the coffee shop knows that person eventually. If anything is going to happen from a true, oh, you know what, I'm gonna see myself more better relationship with this individual. It's because they know that person. Freaking on the tour or whatnot, or just hanging out in Texas for a night over, you might see somebody, oh, they look great. But I mean, the only real like draw that somebody could have so instantaneously is a physical draw. So I mean, again, if the person who you're with is even worth being with, they're not gonna really throw away everything else over this one physical attraction. But the insecure people, that's what they will think. They will think, well, oh my God, that's gonna open up a door to this, that, and the other, and then that's where it gets all disastrous.
Going back to our first point where I was like, okay, I want to chase this, but baby girl don't want to let me do it, right? What if it's something that's not as deep or big as like, oh, okay, I want to change this like whole entertainment industry or something like that, something in that field? What if it's something like, yo, I just want to make beats on the side? You know what I mean? Certain people just say I'm bored, I just want to pick up a little hobby.
I think if
how do you go about that?
If you introduce in a hobby, so let's say you've been together for 2 years or something like that, something where you've established a pattern, and then you bring in this new hobby into the mix, say, hey, I'm gonna do beat making, and you know what? Over the course of the time, it's like, you know, she's starting to think, man, this beat making thing replaced our movie night every night, or you know, this beat making thing replaced like dinners that we've been doing every week. You sort of, and this is something that I don't think is wrong. I think when they reflect on it, they say, you know, they sort of like replaced time with us with something that sort of they're doing alone, and that would obviously bring up a cause for concern. I think you guys just talk it out and say, hey, listen, I was sort of bored. I want to do a hobby, but you know what? I understand, babe. Let's sort of work something out to bring back the thing that I took away.
Gotta throw in the babes there. Gotta throw in the babes.
Slip it in,
I never say babe.
But let's say you have like more of a casual relationship and you see them 2-3 times a week, and then you have just your me time, right? And all of a sudden you do beat making. If she has a problem for that, and if why in the world, I'm not impacting you by any means, why is this a concern to you? It's because of insecurities. They're already thinking, oh, what happens if he gets into music production? What happens if he does this? What happens if he does that? There's literally
That's what I was asking before.
But there's literally no reason why somebody, if you're not changing any aspect of the relationship itself, if you're taking your personal time and applying it to a new hobby, there should be literally unless if it's like something completely whacked.
Like lion taming?
What?
Lion taming?
Maybe even that would be acceptable.
Like that's kind of what I was getting at. That's what I was kind of getting at. Like before, I'm saying, what if it's like you find out it's a deeper issue where it's like, hey,
then
she
leave.
doesn't want you to get on. You know what I mean?
Then leave.
You think you should leave?
Yeah, because what's going to happen is this. That hobby might be something that you really like to do. And 10 years from now when you're with that person, what's going to happen is you're going to think about all these what ifs. You're going to be thinking about all this times that you're going to regret this person, and you're going to feel resentment to this person. And that's going to just blow up even more bigger later on. I mean, if you have the opportunity now to see these red flags, especially in new relationships where you're not going to build this emotional baggage and memories and history that's going to make all the more difficult to walk away from it later. I mean, cut it off now if you're going to see these red flags, because there's no point in trying to continue moving on and building all these positive things with this negative thing, because eventually it's going to just make it difficult to make the right choice.
That's probably why my grandpa and grandma hate each other. They always arguing and shit.
All right, boys, I think we got a solid episode on our hands. I think everyone that's watching is gonna also have some solid comments. And I think with me personally, my little closing statement is really it's all personal. Like, it's all how you feel. Like, if you can deal with it. But I'm just gonna tell you guys, if you're going through something like this, then it's most definitely gonna make whatever you're trying to do 20 times harder, because this is someone that you care about and someone that you love. I mean, I don't know if you love her yet or love him yet, but this is someone that you care about. And it's definitely going to be in the back of your mind when you're trying to do something, because I've been through it with my dad when we're trying to do this YouTube thing. It's like, it's definitely in the back of your head. So you got to weigh it out, because at the end of the day, man, like, that could be your girlfriend forever, because a lot of times I'd be like, yo, you may not be with her forever. Sometimes it can play out like that, you know what I mean? So you just got to really just weigh out the options and talk to her and just let her know that, yo, I'm serious about it. And if that doesn't work, then just, I guess, just show her with your actions. But
I'm serious about making these beats, especially if the beats is hot, nigga.
the beats is hot, boy. Yeah. Closing statements, boys?
Yeah, I mean, I would say one of the biggest things that you should always really focus on is, and it's gonna sound selfish, but at the end of the day, it's good for anybody in your life, is to make you happy first. You can't live for anybody else. You can't take away your happiness for somebody else's sort of insecurities or whatnot, because at the end of the day, it's gonna make you a miserable person, and it's gonna just come back at them later. So as cold as it sounds, I would always sort of try to focus on you first, be happy first, and if you find the right person, which eventually you will, because just naturally things just fall into place, and we've probably experienced that in school or in work. You just, oh, I miraculously passed this exam, or I miraculously did this. It just happens eventually. So if you just stay confident with yourself, keep yourself happy, do things that make you happy, you'll eventually find somebody who's gonna be compatible with you. That's my opinion. I would say avoid those red flags, cut them off early if you can. And if you're in this emotional situation now, you have all this baggage and everything else, you gotta really look at it and say, hey, can I deal with carrying this for the rest of my life? And if it's something that you can't, I would suggest that you sort of let it go.
Fun fact, yo, my little high school sweetheart, she dumped me and I got an A on my exam, so she was stressing me out, fam, because the year before that I didn't. Everyone, thanks for watching. Once again, man, it's good to be back. I miss this show. I was editing the last episode, like, damn, man, I miss editing this shit. I miss y'all, man. I'm gonna catch y'all next week. Nate, thank you for coming back.
Absolutely.
Nike, man, yo, y'all keep doing what y'all do, man.
I got my tuxedo on too.
Yup, Nike and smart with shit.